Howdy, folks. Concealed carrying is getting pretty easy nowadays with these tiny guns that they got out. This, for instance, is a North American Arms and NAA Sidewinder. This was the combo, actually, so it came with 2 cylinders. Right now, and here we got the 22 long rifle, which is great for plinking and shooting at the range. But it also came with a 22 Magnum cylinder, so I guess if you're going to carry this defensively, that's what you'd want to put into this thing. Easily swaps out with just a screw on the front. You can throw in the new cylinder. Now the Sidewinder is a little different from the earlier iterations of this derringer in the fact that it actually operates like a modern day revolver. The old ones you used to actually hit the release and pull out the entire center axle pin and drop out the cylinder. This one you go half cocked, and then there's like a detente spring here, and then it swings out on the crane. Now I guess not too much like a modern revolver. This swings out to the right. As far as I know, the only other modern revolver that does that is that Charter Arms Southpaw. So as a lefty, really appreciate that touch. That snaps back in. Now there is a bit of a concern, I guess, with these guns, which the manufacturer took into account, which is if you're carrying this in your pocket or however you're carrying it, if the hammer is down, it would be resting on a rimfire cartridge, so if you jar that hammer enough or something, you could potentially set it off. So what they've done, there are notches. Let's see if we can get into focus here. Notches between the notches of where the bolts are. Let's actually pop that open so you can see what that looks like. So here are the wells for the bullets, and in between we have these little notches. So they allow you to actually have the cylinder off-centered. And the way that works, let's pop that in. Oops. Alright, is you pull back the hammer until the cylinder is released. Then you rotate until this notch here, the longer notches, lines up with this this centering mark. So once again, here we are here. And then you can actually drop the hammer into it, and if you look at gun straight on, 5-round cylinder, well, the 5th round now, the one that's centered with the barrel, is 180 degrees to the barrel on the axis. So right now the hammer is resting between 2 bullet wells. So that's safe carry. And normally when you're carrying guns, or if you're not doing it already, you're going to get to the point where you're going to want to match up knives with this. And obviously the best knife to be carrying with this North American Arms derringer is a timber rattler. No, that's crazy. In fact, in my state, carrying of a Bowie knife ain't too appropriate. What they do like in my state are folding knives, and so what this video is going to be is about some of the assisted opening folders. Well, not necessarily all assisted opening, but the small size knives. I got a couple here that we'll go through, and keep that derringer in here for like size reference, I guess. This is the Benchmade Mini-Griptillian. Big fan of the Griptilian. This is a Benchmade Emissary. That's a nice knife, by the way. This is a Benchmade Mini-Barrage, or for some reason I keep calling them Barrage. Here is a Kershaw Cryo. Really popular knife. A lot of people really like this knife. Me, to be honest, not so much. And here's one I just got. This is a Columbia River Knife and Tool CRKT, which I just call Cricket. Columbia River Knife and Tool KISS Assist. And you can see right away this looks a lot more different than the other guys. Well, this was my first true love. This was a mini grip. Nothing spring activated about it like the other ones. In fact, I haven't carried it enough, so it needs a little bit of an oiling to get the free jump out. It's got this nice jimping on the top that continues into the blade, so you get a full arch of grip control here. Knife's pretty light. Actually, let's see, I think I have got my scale out here. Let's see about this. Alright, so the derringer, first of all, that can't be right. 7 ounces? That's it? Wow, what a neat little gun. this mini grip is probably going to be one of the lightest ones here. 2.7, 2.8 ounces. Hardly even notice it. It's got these nice polymer grips, which I believe are just it's a fancy word for plastic. And this what's nice with Benchmade, almost I'd say like 95% of their knives, the belt clip or the pocket clip is reversible. So as a lefty, I have this on the left hand side, so I can stick it in my pocket and reach for it normally with my left hand. Now it is tip up, so that means when I reach in, I grab it this way, pull it out, it's already in the position I need it to be. And this is their patented axis lock, which it works for me. It's pretty good. I mean, the blade's pretty firm on there. Not very much movement. Good little knife. Now, Benchmade does have this thing called the Mini-Barrage, as I said. Weighs a little bit more. So, this is what, like 2.7? That's 3.4. So almost 3/4 of an ounce more. This is my favorite knife, I'll be honest. Right up front. Favorite knife right here. I've tried all the other ones. I keep trying to find a better knife, but I'm stuck on this. A little heavier. You can feel a little beefier, I guess I'd say. The plastic has different molding to it, so I really like how it just fits my hands already. Got all these like little finger grooves here that just comfortable, especially like when you're getting ready to discharge the knife. Now this is assisted opening, so once you push the thumb stud a little bit, it does the rest of the work for you. See, let's see it's under. There we go. Schnock, makes a nice schnock noise. Schnock. Now this knife does also have that axis lock, and because it's an assisted opener, Benchmade threw on a safety. So at the top of the knife, let's see if we can. Right there. That is the lock. Now you can't do nothing until you pull back and schnock. Great little knife. Really comfortable in my hands. Doesn't have the same jimping as this mini grip. I kind of wish that was on there. See all this rough pattern here? I mean, if they had that on this knife, it'd be perfect. But I mean, it still fits really nice. There's a nice four-finger groove here. Really have a sense of where the knife is in your hand when you're holding it. Alright, well, let's continue with the idea of the Benchmades. This one is the Benchmade Emissary Osborne. Look how light that is. 2 ounces, maybe 2.1 ounces. This will be the lightest knife of them all. And it has aluminum scales. It also has a safety because it's an assisted opening, but unfortunately it's right-handed predominant. I guess as a lefty I could use my index finger to operate it. Once again, this one also has reversible pocket clip, but this is really nice pocket clip. I mean, if this is the apex of the pocket clip, look how low it's going to ride in your pants. Only this much of the knife's going to be showing above your pocket line. Hardly anything. Whereas on like the mini grip, here's the lip of the pocket. So you're going to have like a full, what's that, about half an inch of it sticking out above your pocket. Same with this. Once again, this is my favorite knife, you know, so I don't want to bash it too much. But here's that Emissary. Look how it's really light, good feel to it, good look to it too, right? Assisted opener, schnock. And it's just a beautiful knife. There's a good feel to it, but being so thin as it is, in fact, if you look at the thickness here, this one fits your hand a lot better, fills your hand up, costs a lot less than that Emissary. Now this is like one of the most popular knives on one of the gun forums I belong to, and it's always coming up on sale on Amazon.com. So eventually, you know, if you have some Amazon credit, might as well pick it up. It's the Kershaw Cryo, all metal construction, so it's going to be the heaviest probably because it's not aluminum. All metal construction, and yeah, there we go. We're over the 4-ounce limit. Not that there's a limit. So this weighs a little bit more than half of that derringer. I'll tell you what, I'm holding them both in my hands. I can almost not tell the difference. I mean, this feels like a solid bar of metal, which it almost is. It does have a nice pocket clip. I mean, right now, if you look at this pocket clip, almost zero of the gun's going to be shown above the pocket because the pocket clip comes up above the gun. And what's nice is this pocket clip is also reversible, so left, right, and it has option of tip up and tip down. This is assisted opener, but it also has this thing that Cryo makes called the flipper. So instead of just using the thumb studs to work out the gun, oh, I guess the spring's getting a little loose. 1 second, let's try that with the right hand. Yeah, it's getting a little loose. Maybe it's better to just use the flipper. Here we go. So you just pull back on this. This is part of the blade already. Yeah, isn't that nice? I wish they had a flipper on some of these other on these Benchmades that turned them into the perfect guns. Knives, derp. One of the things I don't like though, this is the blade lock. They don't have that axis lock like Benchmade does. Let's see if I can focus a little bit better. So their lock is actually part of the frame. In our words, to free it up, you gotta push the frame out, and then you can move the blade back into place. So, not a biggie, but I'm not a real fan of that. And once again, this, as a lefty, it could be a little bit more cumbersome then. Oh, all the knives are open. Might as well open this guy up too. Now here's the cricket. Now as a lefty, this knife's not going to really work for me. This is going to be right hand only. But if I'm carrying a gun on my left side holster, then I would want a right side knife, and this would work okay enough for me. You can see right away it's missing half of its body, which is hopefully going to make it a little bit lighter. Oops. .6 ounces, which is kind of like the mini grip. So it's more than the Emissary. The mini grip was, did be 0? 2.7. So these two knives essentially weigh the same. This happens to be an assisted opener also, and it has it also has like a lock, a safety feature. If we can zoom in, here we go. This is what they call their fire safe feature, and it's the thumb stud can be pushed through, and it pushes a frame lock similar to the Cryo. Once again, the Cryo has this frame lock bar here. Well, you push that thumb stud, and it's going to move out that frame lock. And the frame lock has a little a rest or a detente up here at the top. So if you push that, it sneaks into place. So the blade is now free to move out. Otherwise, it's going to lock the blade in place. So it's kind of a non-intuitive way of opening the knife. You got to push down and then swing out. And since it's so thin, you kind of have to move your fingers into the right position so that they're not in the way to block it. And you can see right away there's that problem. Because I'm pushing down, I'm going to end up catching the knife sometimes. There we go. I mean, it's actually a good looking knife. Really thin. It's the thinnest knife here on the table. Not too heavy. It's an assisted opener. There's, for some reason, I threw on this this carbon fiber mesh, I guess, here, tape. I don't think they needed to necessarily do that, but maybe it helps the blade smooth out or run out when it's coming out. No jimping, necessarily no forefinger rest. In fact, instead there's a forefinger well, so you can hold it and kind of get position with your forefinger if it's in that well. Really nice blade, to be honest, but kind of complicated to use. To free up the blade for locking in, you got to push in this right here, this little stud, and that allows you to move the blade back into place. Once again, I'm going to come back to this. This fits the knife really well. Fits the hand really well. It's got that nice schlock noise. In fact, I like this knife so much, I got two of them. One's left or one's right. So if I'm going to go someplace where I can't have a gun, I'll make sure I'm carrying this in my left hand. If I'm carrying a gun, then I have one for my right pocket. Or I can, leave one in the car, leave one in the office, whatever. It's just really a comfortable knife. I think Benchmade really hit a home run with this one. I mean, this is nice, but for the price of this, you could get these two and maybe one of these other guys. So, plus it's a little bit thin in the hands. It's got a nice feel to it. I'm just not comfortable carrying it. I mean, I've lost a couple pocket knives. If these are cheap enough, if I lost one, I wouldn't beat myself up over it. If I lost this one, I would be spending days and nights with a flashlight looking all over every single step I'd taken. Mini grip, now that I got the barrage, not really going to use it that much. Maybe I'll just keep it in the tackle box or something. And these guys, this one I had some Amazon.com credit. So I wanted to see what this whole flipper was about, see why this is such a popular knife. Nothing really wrong with it. It's kind of heavy, kind of a little clunky. You definitely won't be feeling the quality that you would with one of these other knives here. But I mean, it's cheap enough that, you know, you can keep it in your car's glove box or wherever you think you might need it. And then this one, I had a gift card from my company, so they carried one Cricut knife, and I kind of had been interested in this fire safe safety mechanism. I wanted to see what that was all about. I'll be honest, I'm not crazy about it. Doesn't seem to be working for me. Plus, here's another thing that kind of got me. I mean, this is called the KISS assist. Let's see. Let's focus in on that. All right. Why is an assist? Why is it ASS, like all capitalized, and then IST? Is this, I guess, the KISS or something like that? But I don't know. Kind of weird. I mean, good looking knife. I guess in terms of slimness and weight, you know, there's going to be like zero profile when you carry this thing. This would be pretty practical, kind of, if you didn't need to deploy it properly really fast. Maybe I just need more practice. I've been playing with it for about 3 days now, and I'm still snagging up every now and then. And it's kind of weird. You got to tuck your fingers underneath the belt clip to release it properly. So, it's a bit of a novelty. Fortunately, I got it for free. But for me, you know, right here. In fact, I like these ones so much, I went ahead and I tried to buy their bigger brother, the Barrage full size, and I got the one with the aluminum front bushings and the black blade. But I gotta tell you, Mini-Barrage still outperforms this knife. It's just the perfect knife for me. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you might consider picking one of these things up. I was into guns for several years before I even considered getting a knife. And you might want to stay away from knives, because if you do, you'll start collecting knives too. And that can get overcomplicated. I've become a bit of a Benchmade fan. So I got the McHenry Williams here. I got one of the Riffs also. I've shown on some of these videos this Mangus. Of course, I've replaced my old Griptilian with a new Griptilian with a black blade, and a lot more practical than carrying a Bowie, especially since fixed blade knives, is I think how they spell them out in my state's laws, are kind of a no-no. So I did get another folder from Cold Steel, which is the Raja, but I don't think that'd be that practical too. Good looking knife though. But if I'm going to carry something every day, right here, right, this guy right now. Plus it has that nice shock noise. Alright, take it easy, folks.